Good afternoon and welcome to Uniquely Urbandale. I'm J. Michael McCoy for the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, and this is a program in which we bring you, the members of the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, and talk about your business, what you're passionate about, and most importantly, why you chose to be a member of the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. My guest right now is Jim Wilwerding. Did I say that right?
You did.
Whew. All right. And Jim has newheightscounseling.org, which is at 70th and Hickman. And I would recommend that, of course, you go to the website, newheightscounseling.org, and you can check out not only the site, but Jim's business. All right. So you are a counselor.
I am a counselor and practice with three other counselors at New Heights Counseling.
And what type of counseling do you personally specialize in?
Myself, I specialize in all kinds of addictions work, as well as adjustment, depression, anxiety, family matters,
Okay.
As well as spirituality.
All right. Now, when you say spirituality, what does that mean?
Just that rootedness that we have in something bigger than ourselves, or as well as maybe specific faith traditions. Myself, having more of a Christian background, that would be my forte, but other, just people sometimes want to talk about how they relate to the biggerness of life, if you would.
Sure. So if someone watching this was interested in having Christian counseling, you would certainly be qualified, but it doesn't have to be. If a person walks in who's a non-believer, you certainly can help them.
Correct.
With
Yes.
a lot of things.
I always say that's one thing that I have that I bring to the table, but it isn't necessarily something that has to be part of everybody's process, because it's not part of everybody's journey.
You're a Christian counselor, not necessarily a counselor that only counsels in a biblical worldview.
Correct.
Okay. So why? Why do you do this? Do you just like to listen to people complain and nag and, all that all day long?
Actually, I really like to hear people's stories.
Okay.
Most of it's not complaining and nagging. Most of it is just, our everyday struggles of life and helping people. I always say most of the time it's over a hump, getting from a place of being stuck to a place of being functional and happy, healthy, and whole.
Now, Mary, he said he likes to hear stories. Do you have an hour? Boy, could I tell you a story. Now, you said something a minute ago that triggers me. I'm in recovery. In fact, I have not had a drink in 2,004 days.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm just a little over 5 years. And I can tell you that the counseling that I received was the difference between serenity and what we call in the recovery world white knuckling.
Correct.
What do you think is the key to somebody who's deciding to give up something that is clearly part of their identity? Clearly, they're trying to fill a hole that they can't fill any other way. So what are the steps or what are the processes that you begin with to help someone like that?
For me, I always start wherever the person is. All of us are on a journey. Some of us may be further along the journey than others, but all of us are on their journey. So meeting that person where they are on that journey to say, okay, what do you need to get from here to whatever the next step is?
What's the goal?
Yeah. For some people, the next step may just be, how do I get through the next 24 hours without, drinking, using, or going to my addiction?
Yeah.
For other folks, it's something longer term, but, what's the next step for you?
Now, do you also do marriage counseling as well as individual counseling?
I do indeed, yes.
So you take them both on?
I do.
In the same room?
In the same room at the same time.
Do you have to take like a piece of masking tape and put it down the middle of the room like my dad used to do in the back seat of the car?
There have been, I have a rubber chicken in my office, and there have been occasions when I've needed to take the rubber chicken and say, if you don't have this, you don't get to talk.
Oh, the talking stick.
The talking stick, except a stick sometimes can be a little dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. How can you hurt somebody with a rubber chicken?
Exactly.
Right? Okay. Why did you... No, let me back up. With no names, what's been the most fulfilling experience you've had from, my words, not yours, disaster to incredible peace and serenity?
I think for many people, there is a moment. Something clicks, something makes sense, life makes sense, the aha moment. And just for me, the being present to that with somebody. When it goes, it's nothing short of miraculous in my world and humbling and, just to be present in that and, maybe I had a small part in getting them to that point.
Now, when you counsel someone, almost always, I would guess, you correct me, it's conflict. Conflict within themselves, within a relationship, something like that.
I think that'd be accurate.
What is one of the things, not necessarily the most important, maybe you know the most important, but what are one of the things that you try to teach or offer to people when it comes to conflict resolution?
Internal conflict and really external conflict, I always say, comes down to 4 words. Think, say, do, and feel.
Think, say, feel, and do.
Correct. I'm 100% responsible for everything that I think, say, do, and feel, which means I'm 0% responsible for what anybody else thinks, says, does, or feels, and no one else is responsible for what I think, say, do, and feel.
Yeah.
If I can manage that, then I know what I'm in control of and what I'm not in control of.
And I would imagine you deal with people who come to you with baggage of resentments.
Oftentimes, yes.
Those are the tough ones to get through. Mm-hmm. What are some of the tips that you try to pass on in getting rid of baggage?
Most of baggage comes from I have an unrealistic expectation of the other person, right? I expect them to be someone other than who they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if I can help folks get their expectations in line with reality, then, I don't expect you to be anybody other than you. And, therefore I don't think that you should be something other than or more than or less than or whatever.
Is perception reality? We always hear that, but do you find that be true?
I think that does shape so much of what we do. Okay. It isn't what happens. It's what I think about what happens. It's how I perceive what happens.
Which isn't always necessary true.
Not necessarily. I always say if I played the videotaped evidence back, it may not match the way that I remember it, but the way I remember it is the way that I'm going to live it out.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm a guy that's been in counseling a lot of my life. Thank you for doing what you do.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. You probably don't know this, or maybe nobody's ever told you this, but you've saved lives. You've changed lives. You've given people hope where they were just sure there was none left. So thanks for doing what you do.
You're welcome.
All right, Mary, speaking of somebody who needs counseling, Mary, how are you? Membership
I need
director.
some. Sign me up.
No, you're perfect. You and your husband, Jim, are a great couple. Member of the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce gives you great benefits. And you can find out those benefits almost every Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock at the Chamber office.
Absolutely. We're going to tell you how to better market your business, how to get more education on tackling some of those topics you're facing in your business. We're an advocate for business, and we also have a lot of networking opportunities for you to meet others and to spread the word about wonderful programs and services like the member you just heard from. So it's a great opportunity to get involved, be engaged, and every Tuesday, 9 a.m., we serve coffee and we talk about the membership and how it could help your business. Yeah,
and someone, speaking of what Jim does, someone who is seeking a counselor needs a confidant. They need a place to trust.
Absolutely.
When they say, hey, do you know any good counselors? Well, actually, we do have one. We have several at this business, and they are a member of our chamber, and I'd recommend you at least go talk to them.
Absolutely. Referring businesses and helping people is what we're all about. So it's very exciting to be a part of the organization and to have wonderful members like this.
Yeah, what a great resource.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's Mary Harkin, and we appreciate you taking the time to listen and watch Uniquely Urbandale. For the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, thanks for listening. I'm J. Michael McCoy.